All right, good morning. I'm back with my 2023 Kawasaki Teryx 4S Special Edition. Told you about some of the things that I had coming for it, the brute force 2-inch bracket lift, some Super ATV 2-inch spacers for the wheels, and 30-inch tires that I've got to go on the factory wheels. So I set the camera up and started what I thought was recording, and did not record any of the taking the wheels and tires off, but that is as far as I've gotten right now. I did jack the front end up, put it on jack stands, jack the rear up, took the wheels and factory wheels and tires off. I will tell you, I started out with my trusty Cobalt impact wrench, and it would not budge them. So I had to get a socket and ratchet and literally stand on them to break the factory lug nuts loose. So they were on there good, no worries about them coming off. But at any rate, now that's where I'm at. Factory wheels and tires are off. I have got the Super ATV 2-inch spacers here. I had gotten to the point of setting them up on there. It's as easy as that, putting the lug nuts in, holding it on, and then mounting the wheels and tires. I did get 2-inch front and rear. Hindsight, I wish I would have probably gotten 2-inch rear, 1-inch front, but it's okay. I'll run it this way, see if I like it. If I don't, I'll go a little narrower in the front. I am gonna wait to put these on for right now. I'm gonna go drop the wheels and tires off at the tire place and let them do the swap. While they're doing that, we own a little small storage unit facility. I'm going to run up and mow the grass there and get back and hopefully put this on, and may go ahead and do the bracket lift. It should, and I say should be as easy as, since I'm at full droop here, unbolt this bracket and bolt the new bracket in, basically pushing the A-arms down a little, or lower A-arm, well, and upper A-arm down a little bit, and in turn pushing the rest of the vehicle up. So anyway, it's a pretty simple, looks like simple installation, but I'll try to tear into that in a little while. Same thing, like I said, with the spacers. They do come with a new pack of lug nuts, obviously, because now you've got to have 4 to hold the spacer on, 4 to hold the wheels and tires on. But while we've got it broke down, I'm going to take a good look at everything, make sure everything looks good. This machine's got a couple 100 miles on it, not many at all. A lot of that was put on in the snow this year. We're in North Alabama. We don't get a lot of snow, but we did this year and got to play in this. So it was fun. Tires, the Bighorn 2.0s are not good in snow. I will just tell you, at all. They've done good for us around our house. We've got 7 acres here. We live on a hill, so I've got some pretty good trails through the woods. It has done great through that. But we wanted a little more ground clearance, a little more aggressive tire for trails, and maybe just a little better all around when we do get on some hard pack and whatnot. So anyway, that's where we're at. Wheels and tires off. Spacers should not be an issue, but I'll be back in just a little while, and we'll get started on something else. All right, I am back. We are about to put on the Brute Performance 2-inch bracket lift on this Teryx. And like I said, I'm going to show you the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever that I'll learn by doing this. So the only thing I have done, I went ahead and broke this bolt loose that holds the suspension together with the A-arms. It is at full droop, so should not be any pressure on it. Doesn't appear to be, but it was a 17 millimeter bolt. Put that on one end, put an adjustable wrench on the other, and just took it out real quick. So I am going to start with this. The instructions for this kit are all online. So I have to kind of, and the instructions literally are a couple of pictures. So there's nothing in the package that tells you front or rear. You just have to look at the pictures and know that this is the front, that it mounts like this, and you know, the hardware they provide also. So I'm going to try to knock this out, see how easy it's going to be. I may end up having to put something to support under these A-arms, but I'm hoping I can knock it out without having to do that. I just don't want to put too much pull on the axles, but I don't think that will be the case. So get the stuff that I need to put in ready and take this out and see what happens. All right, so not bad at all. The only thing I'm curious about is if I'm going to be able to compress. Did not think about that. If I'm going to be able to compress this to get where I need to be with this. So this is supposed to mount down on there like that. And make sure I've got the right one. I may have been trying to put the rear on the front. So again, they're not marked. They look very similar. Let's see. So this is a different one. Let me see if this is it. All right, so yes, that is going to be the one for the front. And I have seen this as will work. I may actually have to do a little tap. With a hammer to get exactly where I want it. And instead of going and getting a hammer, let's see if we can get it where we need to be. Still not on there just right. So let me grab something else to persuade. One side. Let's get this bushing down in there correctly. Oh, missed it. There. All right, so still not exactly. Ha! There we go. there's that. Now, let's see. Well, if that is all there is to it, I'm sorry if my leg was in the way. Let's kind of thought there should be a spacer. Let's see. Take that back out because it looks like, again, wonderful instructions. This looks way more like probably what was supposed to go in here, because it has a spacer for each side. So we're going to take that back out and see if I can get this in correctly. I'm going to say probably not, since now I have tried to pull that tight with now. Let's see what this will do. Of course, not going in near as easy as it did the first time. So let me try this. There we go. One side of it anyway. Now, just don't know if I'm going to have enough space to get this spacer in there. All right, try one more thing. Have to get that opened back up a little bit more. All right, try it again. so close. All right, there we go. Oh yeah, that looks way better. Well, that side is done. Going to go ahead and we'll put this Super ATV spacer on this one while we're over here. Get that part knocked out as well. And then all we'll have to do is slap the wheels and tires on. I will tell you, this is way closer to the ground than what it was a while ago. So I'll definitely have to jack this up some more to get the wheel and tire on there. But we can go ahead and get this part knocked out. If I can get the lug nuts. There went a couple. And these are beveled, the holes up in here, so you will use what they provide for the spacers, and then your factory ones will still hold the wheels on just like they did before. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this side, finish buckling the spacer on, go around, put the same lift on the other side. Now that I know what I'm doing on it, it will not take as long or as many blows with the hammer. And then I will come back when I'm ready to do the rears here in just a few minutes. And then I'll go ahead, since the jack's at the rear, go ahead and put the wheels and tires on the rear, bring it around and do the front, but I'll come back when I'm ready to do that. Here though is the bracket. You saw, not much to it. All right, so got the front done, now move to the back. See how much trouble this one is. One thing I did notice on the back, I used an adjustable wrench on the front to hold the nut, but on the back you can't get that in there, so I've got a ratchet wrench here, that 17 millimeter. So we're going to get this off help if I use the right size. Got that out of the way. Here is the brute force rear piece. Just got to make sure you put it on the correct way. Pretty good. Get the provided bolt with the bushing, or it's really just a spacer. Get that started. And the other one that they provide that has the little spacers in it. Well, oh man, I left it on the boat. Had two spacers and I left one of them on the boat. And there goes the other one. As I said, real problems. Things that you mess up, things that you do. Not sugarcoating anything. I'm not perfect. Actually, I'm far from it. So. Try this again. Alright, there's that one. Now, alright, I'll let me sort that. One thing I can tell right now on the back is that the bolt, when I just pushed it all the way through, the bolt is very close to the upper part of the suspension right there. So back to the 17, flip it the other way. Work. So the upper suspension is too close to the nut to get that wrench on. So back to the adjustable. For this new upper one. Can we get this on there? See if that'll work. Would if it'd stay the right size. All right, now for this spacer. Yeah, I can already tell I'll have to figure out how to jack that up some more, because I'll never get those new wheels and tires on there like that. See what I did with the bag of other loading nuts. Real problems, guys, real problems. Well, I had them. Found them. All right. That's what I was looking for. Cool. Now, all we should have left is putting wheels and tires on. If I can. I don't know if that's going to be high enough or not. That is a front, this is a rear. So, I did stick with factory wheels, 14-inch wheels. It had the 27 by 11 14s on the rear and 27 9/14s on the front. I wound up going with the 30-10-14 all the way around, and I am nowhere close to high enough on that. So let me pause this and get a couple more jack stands to hold this while I well, so I can jack it up a little bit more, jack stand, so that then I can jack the suspension up, because I jacked it in the middle so that I would be able to do the suspension easier. So now I need to get some support under each side, and we'll go from there. So be back in just a minute. Okay. Back. Put a block on top of the jack. Give me a few extra inches. A couple extra inches is never bad. Now let's see. So this brings up something that has been brought up before. Oh, here it went. So these are 4x136 bolt pattern, and I have heard in the past of it actually needing a 4x137. So I got the 4x136 because it said it fit, and it did. It just took a little more coercing. So anyway, that is on. We'll make sure we put the washers on. And hopefully get these started. Well, as we said, things happen. So, trying, there we go, just need a little extra help. Get these on finger tight. Man, wow, that's a slippery socket. I don't like that. That makes me feel like that's crossed. Feels good to start, but then we seem to run into some trouble there. It may just be the end of the wheel. It doesn't seem that way. Let's swap that. Sorry for doing the one-handed. There it goes. All right. So there is the back. I'm going to put the other rear on over on the other side and drop the back end down, go up to the front, and jack it up some more so I can get the front on. Be back in just a minute. Okay, so back, gonna do this front wheel now, and then we'll be ready to set it down. Don't know that I can do this with one hand, so probably won't set the phone down for just a second. Camera down, I mean, just a second, and then we'll pick back up. So give me just a second. All right, set that up on there. Washer. And I mean, it's a lug nut, but it's not the acorn shaped with a rounded back. These are just flat. So overall, the install was, I mean, really easy. For having the tools, which I mean I did. Would it have been better? I know I should have used a rubber mallet when I was banging on the bracket, so I'll need to go back and touch them up if I want to cover up where I knocked the black off. But overall, the brute performance lift was simple to install. You know, all I did was jack the center of the Teryx up so that it let the suspension go to full droop. I was already taking the wheels and tires off, so that worked out in my favor. Pulled the wheels and tires off, undid one bolt, suspension dropped down, and bolted the new bracket on. Didn't have to undo brake lines or, you know, tie rods or anything else. So that was good. Let me go ahead and tighten these up right quick. And yes, after the first ride, I will come back and retorque everything down to spec. Right now, I'm just showing the ease of installation and whatnot. So, again, the brute performance lift was easy to put on. I like the bracket lift better than the spacer lift that would actually go on the suspension itself. You have to take it apart to install that. Here you can see, basically, it just relocated the mount. But yeah, so gonna set it down now, see what it looks like with that. Hang on just a second. All right, get this down out of the way. Yeah, that is a big difference. I know people's gonna ask, and I have not mentioned it yet. The tires that I bought are GBC or Canati. I think it's the other parent company it's under, Mongrels. These are the 30 by 10 by 14. I did buy them from Sam's Club. At Sam's, they go under GBC. At other places, I see them listed as Canati. I believe it is Canati Mongrels. A little more rounded top than I was kind of thinking. They did have one called the Mongrel SQ, which was for that very reason. SQ stands for square, squared off. So it's a little more of a square tire across the top and down the side. So anyway, so with the 2 inches on the front and the rear, you can see that the front end is just a tad wider than the rear. and that's okay. I do have, you can see by the mud splash that even with the factory wheels and tires, it really didn't do very much to stop it from going up the side and into the cab. So I do have the new extensions from, is it Mudbusters, I think. I'll get those installed before we go anywhere far. But right now I'm just gonna take it for a little spin, see how it does, and clean up my mess. So overall, I mean, super easy to do. Real time, I probably spent an hour to an hour and a half, maybe an hour and a half, more like an hour. So really not bad at all. I mean, you could literally put those brackets on, you know, jack it up. You wouldn't have to take the wheels and tires off if you didn't want to. I think you could do it without taking them off. But I mean, it is way taller now, like tall enough. May have to check on fitting out the garage door. Wouldn't that be something? But yeah, no, it should be good. But anyway, we'll see how it does. Be back shortly and give a last little recap.